Hey, what's up everybody? In this video I'm going to be talking about Toyota's tire warning light. They call it the TPMS light. Here it is flashing. If you have one that's flashing, that can mean you have a bad sensor or multiple sensors or a communication issue. But if it's on steady, that means you just have low tire pressure. So I have a flashing light, so that means I have an issue. I got this laptop here with Toyota diagnostic software on it called TechStream, and I have a Mongoose cable hooked up. You can get scanners that read tire codes. Here's my code right here, transmitter ID number 2. So that means sensor number 2 is not working right. So I go and I look at the data list. I can see what the tire pressure sensors are saying, and right now it's working. So with these sensors, they fail intermittently because they have a button cell battery inside of them, and it kind of goes in and out before it finally fails. So if I have this code, I'm going to check the ID, and there's a number starting with F. Every tire sensor has an ID written on the front of it. So I'm going to do kind of like an old school diag trick where I'm going to see the ID on it, and then I'm going to take the tire pressure out of each tire, and then the one that isn't ID number 2 is going to tell me which tire holds the bad sensor. If that's kind of confusing, just watch. I'll show you what I mean. It's easier just to show you guys. So I'm going to take tire pressure out of I'm going to start with the left rear tire. Why not? So what I'm going to do is just take the valve stem here and just kind of loosen it a little bit and drain about 15 psi out of this tire. And then I'm going to go back and look at that live data list and see which tire ID has dropped pressure. And then I'll know. So this one dropped ID number 4. It dropped down to 25 psi. So I know that the left rear tire is not ID number 2. So the left rear tire is good. I don't need to worry about that anymore. Now I'm going to do the left front tire. We're going to do this, let some pressure out. I'm not letting it completely go flat. I'm just letting enough out to where it would be like significant to where the computer would pick it up. So I know ID number 4 already changed, and I'm going to go back and see what changed. It looks like ID number 3 changed. All of these were set at 35 psi prior to this, so now that's at 27. So I got 2 left. Let's go to the right front tire here and let some pressure out. Now you can get a scanner. I'm going to link some scanners. You could read this data. You don't have to have Toyota factory software and a laptop. You can get a Tpms scanner to do this. Alright, so this is the right front. I'll put this back in so it doesn't all drain out. Now the right front was ID number 2. Right there. So the right front tire is where my potentially bad sensor is that's throwing a code. So I'm going to take this wheel off and get the sensor out of there. So for the wheel, it's right here. I got it lifted up in the air. I'm going to take this hubcap off and then go ahead and take the lug nuts off and get this wheel off. Okay, it's a 21 millimeter. This is a RAV4. It's like a 2015 or a 16, I believe. So I took it over to the tire machine. I'm going to need a, I think it's 11 millimeter on this one, valve stem tool, and then I have my new sensor already. Here's the part number. Links in the description and the comments for parts and tools for this. So I'm going to go ahead and let the air out, save my valve stem, and then I'm going to use a tire machine to remove the front of the tire or from the bead. And then see, here's my sensor here. And what I'm going to do is these come off because you or how you loosen these right here. It's just a regular nut. Take that off, and then you could just kind of slide the sensor out if you push the bead down enough, and then there you go. Now on the front of the sensor, it should have that code. I mean, not the code, the ID. That was the one in the computer. That was ID number 2. So there it is. That is the same one. So I was correct. Now I can put my new one in. Before I put my new one in, though, I need to take a picture and write down the ID on the front. Also, this is a angled sensor. Toyota makes either angled sensors or straight sensors, depending on the wheel style. This is any kind of steel rim. They use the angled sensors. So I took a picture of the front of the sensor because it had the ID written on the front. Also, I wrote it down just to be double, good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, tighten this down. I'm gonna fill this tire back up, and then I'm gonna reprogram the new sensor in, and then hopefully that tire light should go out. Go ahead and put the valve stem back in here, get this guy in, and then put the air in. So I mean, for like the average guy in his driveway, the tire machine part is going to be your biggest problem. But if you have like a scanner that could read TPMS codes and code them into the computer, then you could have a shop. You know, you could just bring your sensor to a shop and bring them the wheel and just be like, hey, put this sensor in this wheel, please, and then make sure you just write down the ID. So now we're going to get this on the car, and just to program them in, they need to be on the car. And you know, I tighten them down and everything, make sure they're all good. So I'm hooked back up to the computer. I'm inside the car. I got my automotive diagnostic software running. Again, there's lots of scanners out there that you can buy. It might be a couple $100, a few $100, and they can talk to the TPMS module. Here's my new ID that I wrote down, and I'm going to use this TechStream software to tell the computer that, hey, this new sensor's in the group now, and you know, to only listen to that sensor now. So I'm gonna go to the TPS module, tire pressure monitor module. Your scanner won't look like this. This is just the Toyota software. And I'm going to go to utility. And it looks like I'm going to go to ID registration. A scanner, aftermarket scanner, will probably say something similar. I'll go to next. Now it's important you don't mess the registration up. It'll ask you to type in the ID off from the sensor, and just don't be like messing around and chasing the kids around while you're doing this part or something. Just focus on this, type in the code. See, I'm going to go to ID2, and I'm going to edit the ID that it's going to look for. I'm going to type in this new one, 56F669A. All right. Now I hit next. Now, you might have other bad sensors. If you have other bad sensors, you'll just do this process for them as well. You could do it all at the same time. So I started the car. This will flash a little bit because when you reset the ID on a sensor, it just kind of takes, the computer takes a minute to look at all of them again. So what I do is I go to data list, and then I'll look and see what the computer is seeing. But yeah, there's been times, yeah, right now it just says max on all the pressures. That just means like it's kind of like a NA, like not available. But if you just give it like 5 minutes, they'll all pop in one at a time. See, there it goes. I've had ones that kind of scared me. It took like 15 minutes before they showed up, and I was like, oh, I thought I messed it up or something. But eventually they all will come, and then once that last one comes through, the tire light will go out. So my new one is already programmed. It says 47. You don't need to write in the comments that the pressures are too high. I will adjust them. Don't worry. But see, the light went out, and now I'm good. So that's how I did it. I hope this video helped you guys out. Hope it was informative. Any additional information in the comments is appreciated. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. So I wanted to tell you about this new soap I've been using by a new company called Quantum Soap. It's a men's soap company. They make multiple different bars of soap with their own ingredients and fragrance. They even have a dark matter bar, which is more grittier. If you're a mechanic, you have a lot of dirt and oil in your skin a lot. You can reach them at quantumsoapco.com. Free shipping on orders over $50. These soaps are made in the US with all natural ingredients by hand. No synthetic this, synthetic that. They've been great. They've hooked us up with a Guillermo Auto promo code. So if you head over to the website, type in Guillermo Auto in the checkout, you'll get 10% off. Again, these guys are on Facebook, Instagram. Check them out. Check the links below. Thanks for watching.
You're pretty good. Your style is no match for mine.